You're watching 12 Sports tonight on 12+. I'm Lena Washington. We'll catch up with the rest of the crew in just a moment. Every Thursday night, come hang with us. We're talking all things Arizona sports, telling you the important stories that matter and introducing you to the people who inspire others in our community. This is 12 Sports Tonight, Arizona's original and longest-running sports show, streaming on 12+. Let's go.
I think Vance Joseph is still pretty high on their list, but they can't interview him until either after the Broncos season ends or if the Broncos make the Super Bowl. It's that bye week in between the Super Bowl. I'm also a big fan of Clint Kubiak. Any Kubiak, by the way, bring them down. They remind me of a lot of young Jordan Knott in a sense for the Suns. So those names I think to keep an eye on. But Sean McDermott, you got to make a phone call.
He's your guy?
Winners, Jake. Bring some wins here. I think all Cardinal fans were like, pick experience and guys that win and figure it out later. I'm not a fan of teams getting rid of winning coaches.
Well, let's close on Saleh really quick because you said he left Tennessee to come to the interview here in Arizona. Tennessee does have something that the Cardinals do not have to offer him, and that's a franchise quarterback, someone you can build around. We thought that was Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was that guy for a while here. I think the Cardinals have decided he's no longer that guy. So do you pick Cam Ward or do you pick, sunshine and 80 degrees in January?
I'm picking sunshine.
It's up to you, Saleh.
All day long. Vance Joseph is right there in the mix. I really think he's probably one of the leaders in the clubhouse. Many around the league believe he deserves another chance to lead a football team. I will say this, the Broncos, they're still not the best at covering tight ends. We kind of remember that when VJ was here with his defense.
But they're still playing.
But they're still playing. And I'll say this,
impressive.
Robert Saleh, Vance Joseph, what they've been around is experience in a coaching staff.
Yes.
They're going to bring a big staff with them, at least in my eyes they would, and that would help out the Cardinals tremendously. I thought the last staff lacked some of that experience across the board. Robert Saleh would bring some experience and some good coaches with him. So would Vance Joseph, and I think so would the Kubiaks too as well.
Well, let's be clear, hiring a coach is not going to be the panacea for the Cardinals' problems. It's really organizational, from health and recovery, development, all of the buckets that weren't filled when Jonathan Gannon was here. They need to get filled with whoever comes in and that staff that comes in to get this team into the playoffs. They haven't won a playoff game in 10 years, and they've had one playoff appearance since that time.
Yeah.
And it was a blowout loss to the Rams.
Maybe better times ahead.
Yeah.
Check this out. Speaking of the Cardinals, listen, Cardinals fans, I know it was a tough year, but I hope the rest of the NFL knows we truly have some of the best fans here in Arizona. Thank you for surviving such a tough season, but I will say this, very few are more passionate than our next guest right here in studio from Casa Grande, Kenny Salinas, the Cardinals 2025 Fan of the Year. Kenny, what's going on, man?
Not much, Cam. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Always good to see you.
Good. You want to give a shout out to Casa Grande out there?
Hey,
Come on.
Casa Grande, you know I love you. Every time I call the radio station, it's Kenny from Casa Grande, so absolutely.
Kenny from Casa Grande here in studio, the Cardinals Fan of the Year.
Yeah.
Kenny, real quick, I know you've been a Cardinal fan for a long time, probably approaching 20 years now, right? Season ticket holder?
Well, as season ticket holder, but I've been since they got here.
Yeah, so even longer than that. What did it mean to be named the Fan of the Year?
And man, it's a blessing. It really is, especially the way the Cardinals set it up and the way they did it.
They got you.
Yeah, they did. And my wife had no idea. Nobody had any idea about it. And they came to the food bank.
How does it feel to be the 2025 Arizona Cardinals Fan of the Year?
They came and they did a presentation there, which we had no idea that was happening.
You mentioned the food bank, Kenny. I know you do so much for the community.
Yes.
Just run us through what you do and why you do it.
Okay. Well, I'm like I said, I'm the president of the Casa Grande Food Bank. I'm the vice president of the Pinal County Junior Livestock, which is our 4-H program in the county. Like every county has a 4-H program, and that's what we do there. I serve on the Salvation Army board. I serve on CASA for foster kids, PCII for foster kids. I'm the recording secretary for Union 387, our local union. And the last 3 years, I've been delivering food to the Martin Luther King Day of Remembrance here in Casa Grande.
Does that bring you the most joy in life?
Absolutely. I love, like my wife thinks I'm silly,
crazy.
But I go like—
You were going to say crazy.
Yeah,
huh?
crazy. I think I'm crazy, but I go to the food bank every single morning at 4:30. If it's in between 4:30 and 5, I work literally about a half mile from the food bank, so it's easy and convenient for me to stop by. I used to go there once a week, and then I used to go twice a week, and then I started doing it by myself. I started going every day just because it's easier to maintain.
You know, you're a linesman, right? Been doing that for over 20 years, right?
Yep, I've been with Arizona Public Service for 19 years alone, and I started off at another little company. I worked there 9 years, so I've got about 28 years in the trade.
So you got a full-time job. You got a full-time job in the community helping people.
Yep.
You got a full-time job as a fan.
Yep.
A loving husband. Yep. How do you do all this, man? What's the secret?
Well, like
Never
my wife
don't get
said,
tired?
Yeah, you don't get tired. You don't go to sleep. And then I'm a horrible sleeper, so that's why I go to the food bank every morning at 4:30 in the morning.
Most people know you as the license plate guy, right? You've been
Correct.
How long you been the license plate guy for? A long time.
Well,
right?
ever since the Cardinals came out with the personalized license plates.
Yeah.
I started collecting them, and I'm upward I would say closer to the 110 to 120 personalized license plates.
That's a lot of them.
It is.
Then I know this year you took your fandom to kind of the next level. Despite the terrible season, Kenny was there at every game. If there was something during the bye week, he would have hit that too as well.
Absolutely.
When did you get the idea to go to every game in the season?
You know, I was going to do this. Me and a great friend of mine, he passed away in 2018, Keith Barlow. And he was a huge fan. Everybody knew him. You know, we talked about it for about 2 years before. I said, hey, for my 50th birthday, I'm going to go every stadium. And he told me that when you turn 50, I'm doing it, everyone with you. Because Keith used to go to every game as well. Yeah. And then, so that happened to me on COVID 2020. So I held off a couple of years, and I thought, you know what, I'll do it for my 55th birthday. And then my 55th birthday came, and I decided we're going to make a run at it, and we're doing it. And then we started it preseason, and then regular season started, and then I ended up getting Fan of the Year in the same year. So it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. You know, it all happened for the right reason.
How much did you think of your friend?
Man, I think of him all the time. Yeah. You know, like I said, I've got a little thing, a card that I carry with him every single game. Every game, every time I go to, I take a card with him. I got little things like that, you know, like Mr. Bidwell, he always carried that little tie. Yeah. And then when I take a tie with me every single game, I've never missed. You know, I carry it in my pocket, you know, and it's kind of my deal. Like, I just take them both with me. Sometimes it's so awesome because, I mean, the security has to literally run you out of the stadium, just like at home.
You're not leaving early?
No.
Even if bad loss, you don't leave early?
Absolutely not. Never.
Kenny, it's awesome to have you here in studio. It's been a pleasure to know you all these years and all the things you do. I think I speak on behalf of everybody here in the Valley. Congratulations on winning Fan of the Year.
Thank you.
And thank you for everything that you do for our community. You truly make it a better place.
Awesome. Thank you, Cam. Yeah. And if I can say one last thing,
sure.
You know, you guys, we got until like the Wednesday before the Super Bowl to continue voting. You know, I'm just an Arizona Cardinals Fan of the Year. You can vote every day, all day long, as much as you want. Go to NFL.com, and there's 32 fans out there.
Simple. Vote for Kenny, all right?
Absolutely.
If anything, come on, this man deserves it, right?
Yeah.
Kenny, real quick, you're going to the Super Bowl, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's that experience going to be like?
It's going to be, I mean, I'm so pumped up and excited.
Ever been to a Super Bowl?
Never been. Never been. Like I said, I've done everything, every game day, game night that you can do. Now, I'm going to knock it off with the Super Bowl.
And you're going to be wearing that?
Absolutely. This one right here. Yep. 25, Fan of the Year. Go vote.
Go vote for Kenny from Casa Grande. Congrats, Kenny. Thanks for repping our Valley.
Check out who is back in the Valley. Jake the Snake. ASU legend Jake Plummer, the special guest for the 7th annual Superhero Saturday out at the old Metro Center. The course of the event is put on by the Phoenix Police Sergeants and Lieutenants Association. Plummer talking all things Arizona sports, from the Cardinals to ASU. He starts with Kenny Dillingham getting a new contract extension.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, Kenny's heart is all about here. He grew up here. He grew up roaming around that stadium, watching us play back in the 90s. So it's really awesome to see him be honored for his commitment. But he's doing a great job bringing in the right kind of players that it matters to them. It means something to them to be a Sun Devil. I'm glad to see him here along with the staff that's stuck around because these guys are good coaches.
What do you think about old Sam Levitt leaving? I'm wondering who's going to step up afterwards, but I'm also wondering who's advising him. Like, who's giving him advice to leave this place and go somewhere else?
What are your thoughts on Sam leaving? I know the memories of the Peach Bowl are still there, and that run. Just how do you digest that as a proud Sun Devil alum?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. You just got to look at the landscape. There's quarterbacks bouncing all over. It's hard to see him leave though, because I really loved his leadership, his passion, and his the way he played. It's exciting to watch him play. But I wish him well. I have no hard feelings for what he's doing. It's just this is the nature of this game now in college. And we see it with the pros. When these athletes are moving every so often, it's hard to just really latch on to a team. But I think Kenny has got the right players. He's going to bring in another gunslinger to lead this team. And I wish Sam well. It's going to be. I'd love to see him continue on here, though, and build something memorable. So we can stop talking about that 97 Rose Bowl team that lost. We can talk about somebody else.
We won our first playoff game in 50 years when I was here. I believe that. 50 years. You won a playoff game. So I feel like we kind of almost won a Super Bowl, but it wasn't a Super Bowl, but it had that same kind of feeling.
Is it just simple if the Cardinals invest money in a coach like the Broncos did, then they'll find success?
Yeah, I mean, I think invest is a key word, and not just a coach, but in the overall, operations of that organization. Like, let's start spending the money where it needs to be spent. And that's bringing players in and taking care of them, making sure they want to be here and play hard. And then obviously you got to bring in the right coach. You got to have the right guy behind center too. I don't know Kyler Murray well enough, but I know if you got a leader that cares, that things can change. As we saw with Denver, Bo Nix is a competitor, man. He plays his He's going to throw fire back at the coach if he wants to, and he's a leader. He's a tone setter. So I think it starts with organizationally the top, and then bringing in the right guy to coach, but also at quarterback. You got to have someone that can lead those guys, those grown men, and say, it's all right, let's get it done.
One of the greatest Sun Devil alums.
And so gracious with his time, Lee. It's awesome to see. Here at studio, Sun Devil Hall of Famer, NBA champion, Jeff Ayers. Go ahead, throw up the pitchfork. There you go. There you go. He's excited to be in here, talk some basketball. Jeff, listen, what do you make of this Suns team just off the rip?
I mean, I'll give him my honest opinion at first, man. I'm pretty surprised. I know a lot of people are, but they're playing really hard. They got that great veteran leadership showing right now, and they've all bought into an identity from the coach.
Last year they had veterans, maybe not so heavy on the leadership. This year we're seeing not only Devin Booker take that next step in the evolution of him as a player, but Dylan Brooks kind of bring that out of him. How have you seen the two of them lead what is otherwise a seemingly young team?
Honestly, the main thing is they leading by example. That's the best way to have any type of leadership. D-Book has been doing his thing this whole time, hasn't changed anything. And now with Dylan, he's just amplifying it. They're kind of like two sides of the same coin. Dylan might get a little extra every now and then, like the way D-Book
good cop, bad cop, right?
Exactly, but it works. And now their attitudes in practice are probably setting the tone for the rest of the young fellas, how it's going to be in the games. And now you're seeing the results of that. I didn't really understand, the Spurs' greatness until, I get outside of that locker room and I start going overseas and wondering why everybody's not doing things Spurs-like. And there's a reason why they've been so consistent with winning. They have that championship mindset.
Suns officially in the final third of this 6-game road swing. After the visit to Philly, they'll close out the trip in Atlanta against the Hawks. Suns begin a 5-game homestand starting this Sunday against the Heat.
I thought you should pull off Jalen Green's hairstyle.
You're going to go on the record with that?
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay, thanks.
It's the biggest high school basketball game in the country, and it's right in our own backyard. Sunny Slope ranked 4th in the nation, Millennium ranked 6th, potentially 5 future NBA players on the floor. A sold-out gym at Sunny Slope. Fans lined up hours before, and they were turning people away. Go Tigers. They jumped out to it early. 10-0 lead. Aiden Diggs going to lay it in. He's fired up. Then Diggs to one of the best players in the state. Cameron Holmes dunks it. Millennium up by 4 at the half. Vikings come back to take the lead in the third. Ryder Portela hits the 3. We are tied a little later. Sunny Slope, though, they pull away. Darius Wobbington, the big fella, brings down the house. He had 20 points. Sunny Slope wins 61-57.
We just didn't crack. Like you said, we stayed together. We kept trusting in one another, and we just pushed through, and we kept hooping.
We trust each other no matter what. We know what we got to do, and even though we went down 0-11, we kind of just came back. We crawled back. That's what we do. We don't give up. We just show like we want to be the best who we could be, and the best in Arizona.
Feeling for Bobby Hurley. I feel like he tries really hard. He's, an intense guy.
Yeah, always.
And losing is not fun.
Losing is not fun, Troy. And you're right. There is no one that I've seen care more about their job than Bobby Hurley does at ASU. And that's what's so frustrating, and that's what kind of hurts to hear him speak like this, is because he's put a lot into this job, and flat out, it just has not worked whatsoever. Feels like the end is near for Bobby Hurley's time in Tempe. Following a 3rd straight loss and a 7th loss in their last 8 games, head coach Bobby Hurley, he just aired it out last night, saying his voice isn't working, he can't get through to the team, and he is failing. These frustrations, of course, have been building for years. Hurley is in the final year of his contract. He knew year 11 at ASU would bring a lot of challenges, right? Had to rebuild this roster on a budget in the offseason, but it sounds like he knows the end is coming.
There isn't a commitment to listening, and we lack discipline in terms of listening to what some of the things that I'm trying to get across to the team. So my voice is not working. We have not played well here in years, like since before COVID. Like, we had this place cooking before COVID. Now it's a sterile environment. We don't win here. We don't give our fans any reason to show up with enthusiasm to think that we're going to win a basketball game. And we have been dreadful at home for years. This has been going on for a while, and it's not a home court advantage. We can't win here, and bottom line. The light and the tunnel, it's hard to see a lot of light. I love the group, though. This group is far different than some other teams that I've had, like, that at times might have made me sick to my stomach. You know, this group of people are very willing to try and give what they have. So I'm not overly disappointed in that regard. It's just more of the hope. We failed. I'm failing. I can't get through to the team. So I don't know what else I could say.
It's like a therapy session.
Hey, guys, listen.
Holy smokes.
We've heard a lot of coaches speak over the years. I don't know if I've ever heard a coach speak that honestly in that kind of moment, that raw of emotion after the game. I thought it was important you kind of see his face throughout that whole thing, just because you can see the pain in his eyes. And he's right, guys. When COVID canceled their season, they were on the verge of going to 3 straight tournaments. It's been the first time in ASU history since the 60s that ever happened. So obviously the NCAA tournament got canceled that year. That was maybe Bobby's best team here at ASU. And after that, they've just never been able to regain the momentum. They've missed on a handful of players who they thought was really going to help the program. And then NIL hit, and all of a sudden, all these other programs can spend a whole lot more money on basketball than ASU's been able to. So he's had to kind of like makeshift this roster, and nothing has just worked out. And you just have to feel like after this year, it just sounds like he knows it. He knows it's time. The school knows it's time, and it just seems like the end is coming to an end for Bobby Hurley at ASU.
I can't imagine it's fun to play. I mean, because this is a big school. Let's be honest. ASU is a big school.
Massive school, yeah.
Right, and you think that you'd have the resources, but you don't. So you're not going to compete with a Kansas or, I mean, there's some big programs.
And especially in the Big 12. It's such a great basketball conference. So not right now, Troy. Like, Kenny Dillingham's had to fight for those resources, right? It didn't kind of work. Bobby's trying to do things behind the scenes, too, as well. And it's just not adding up to winning. That's the tough part. He likes this team. You heard him. They're just not good enough to really compete and be at the top at the Big 12. It's tough.
The Arizona Wildcats remain undefeated after a scare from the Sun Devils down in Tucson a couple nights ago. The Cats, as we mentioned, the #1 team in the country, and they're led by Gilbert's own Koa Pete.
Lena, he's really good.
Very good.
Like, really good.
Like, best player in the USA basketball system good.
Yeah, maybe one of the best to ever come out of this state. 12 Sports journalist Jake Garcia caught up with Perry's former high school coach, Pete's former high school coach out there from Perry High School, who says the freshman is NBA ready.
How impressive has the freshman season been for your former player, Koa Pete?
Oh, very impressive. Just from even game one, his coming out party against Florida, to stay consistent. He set the bar high that first game, and he stayed consistent all the way through. So it's been a lot of fun to watch him.
How has he evolved in, the limited time since you coached him until now? How has he gotten better?
Oh, he's matured physically. He's matured on the floor. Tommy Lloyd, TJ Benson, the whole staff have done an amazing job to keep developing him. He's always been a team guy, and he's just thriving in their system right now.
Was there any doubt in your mind that this is what he would become at the college level?
Zero doubt in my mind, zero doubt. We knew, I think he's still going to get better and better. His ceiling is still high, so sky is still the limit for Koa.
Based on what you've seen, how close is he, how ready is he to take the next step and go pro?
I think he's ready. I've seen guys that have gone the Williams brothers, so he's ready. He's ready.
Let's go back to your time coaching Koa at Perry in high school. What memories do you cherish the most with him? Obviously, there were a ton of wins and the state championships. What memories do you still hold near and dear?
Still just my relationship with him as a person. Such a tremendous person. The family's such a tremendous family. And then just him coming in the gym every day, seeing Koa and the relationship that we had, and then just being able to watch him play and making me a good coach and making us a good team.
Opening day lineup, Lena. That's right. We're looking ahead to opening day. Blaze Alexander would assume slides to left field. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. recovering from that torn ACL. Should be back towards the middle of the year. Plenty of speed out there. Alec Thomas with Jake McCarthy gone, probably your everyday center fielder. Pavin Smith at first base for now. Snakes also hope a fully healthy Gabriel Moreno will be back there behind the plate. Don't forget, Lena, they also have players like James McCann back there. ADC too as well. I like it.
Good to see the big leaguers getting ready for the season. And for the 9th year, Major League Baseball is hosting the Dream Series at Tempe Diablo Stadium. The annual event is held in connection with Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It brings 80 elite African-American high school players from across the country to the Valley to learn from some legends of the game. And baseball runs in the family for a couple players and coaches on this year's Dream Series roster.
My baseball career started when I was 4 years old when I lived in Wisconsin when my dad just got the job for the Bucks. And my dad started paying me to play catcher actually. Every time I caught the ball, I'd get $1. That's when I really started to love catching and that's why I still play it to this day. But eventually when I got too good at it, he stopped paying me for it.
These days, Chance Kidd doesn't need to be incentivized to play baseball. His dad, Basketball Hall of Famer and former Phoenix Suns star Jason Kidd, played ball growing up.
I've only seen pictures. He said he was really good. I don't know. There's no videos. He said he couldn't find any. Can't verify, but I guess a bunch of his friends say that he was really good, but I don't know if that's biased or not.
The athletic apple didn't fall far from the tree. At 6'3" and 220 pounds, the Texas high school freshman could develop into a top prospect, with Dream Series giving Chance and other prep stars an opportunity to be seen and improve their game.
They have the self-confidence and they know they can make it. They know it and they feel it in their bones. I'm getting goose pimples right now. I get very emotional when we talk about these things. They can see the opportunities right in front of them and they understand that they can do it.
Daryl Miller's been part of Dream Series since its inception. The former big leaguer knows about competitive families. His siblings, Cheryl and Reggie, are basketball legends. But Daryl is working to bring more diversity and top talent to the baseball diamond through programs like this.
We're fulfilling dreams on a day-to-day basis. Every single ball we throw, every single swing we take, and everybody that communicates that I was where you were, and this is how I got there, and this is what you need to do to get there. To me, it's been the blessing of a lifetime to be involved a little bit in and seeing kids get to the next level, people that look like me and you.
Howie Kendrick's kids also out there at the Dream Series, very star-studded.
How cool is that? Honor the life and legacy of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. These tributes are very important. In the NBA, the tradition dates back to 1986 when MLK Day became a national holiday. And on MLK Day, I love to tell the story of one of the best sports connections to Dr. King and the civil rights movement, and it all started back in 1963.
I have a dream today.
Dr. King had just delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech in front of more than 250,000 people, including George Ravlin. The name should sound familiar. He was the first African-American men's basketball coach at Iowa, the first black men's basketball coach in the Pac-12, a basketball and college basketball Hall of Famer. Ravlin won Olympic medals coaching Team USA. He guided Michael Jordan to sign with Nike. Or as MJ put it, there would be no Air Jordan brand without George Ravlin. But in 1963, he was just a 26-year-old assistant out at Villanova. Like so many, he went to the March on Washington and ended up being there and ended up being asked to help with security. Some muscle on the podium just in case. Ravlin stood feet from Dr. King, and when the speech was done, he came face to face with King and boldly asked, "Hey, that was a great speech, Dr. King. Can I have that copy?" Dr. King handed it to him. and the rest was history. He folded it up, put it in the front of one of his favorite books, a personal signed copy of President Truman's autobiography, and basically forgot about it until about 20 years later. A reporter asked him about being at the march, and Ravelin said, "Yes, I was there. You know, I got the speech." That was in 1983, 20 years after the speech, and it's been 43 years since then. 63 years later, Ravelin and his family, they still have it. He's been offered millions for that speech, and guess what? The words, "I have a dream," were not on it. A complete ad-lib by Dr. King. Ravelin passed away in September at the age of 88 after battling cancer. He lived up to his word to share it. Today, the speech is at loan at his alma mater, Villanova, with plans to display it at the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. He left it in his will to his son with one condition: he can never sell it. I encourage everyone to read Dr. King's speech and visit the Lorraine Motel in Memphis. It is both educational and important. One of my favorite parts of the speech is when Dr. King doubled down on the American dream, quoted the Declaration of Independence, all created equal, and guaranteed the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In one of his final interviews before passing, Ravelin gave us his Dr. King quote.
Still a lot to be learned from him, but I think he kept hope alive in people. He gave them a dream and told them how we could make this dream together. One of my favorite quotes from Dr. King is, "If a man or woman hasn't found something in life that they're willing to die for, maybe they're not fit to live." And King was willing to die. Whew. Boy, that's a commitment.
That will do it for us here this week. Thank you so much for watching 12 Sports tonight on 12+. Join us here next Thursday, same time, same place. And if you want the best sports coverage in town, join us on Arizona Sports Station, morning, noon, and night, 12 News. And if you miss us, head over to 12news.com, our 12 News YouTube page, or find us right here on the 12+ app on your TVs. I'm Lena Washington. We'll see you back here on Sunday night for 12 Sports tonight at 10:30.